Hi, I'm John K. You're watching The Epic Show.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the Epic Show. We have kidnapped a very famous artist, cartoonist, and an all-around good guy when he's around his folks. Joey B. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm excellent. So
I like your hat, man.
it's ill, right?
Yeah, is there any sauce up in there?
Yeah. A little bit. We're gonna have to get some later.
Okay, I'm hungry, man. You gotta feed the superstar.
We're actually out of the country. Take a wild guess where we're at. Oh, mine shouldn't be too hard. There you go. So, Joey B, first time out of the country, right?
This is fantastic, man.
What do you think?
I love it here. I don't even know how to pronounce where I am, but hey, man.
Las Gaviotas.
It's the universal language, this beach and all this stuff, man. It's great to be here. It's a long way from home.
I bet, dude. I bet. Which is?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm from Kingston. It's about 90 miles from New York City. So it's a whole nother world out here.
So, I've been a terrible host. I forgot to introduce who we got here.
Who is this guy?
We have Jonny P.
Jonny P.
He's on board with the Epic Show now. We actually have a project going on called Antipatico. You guys can check out the video there. But I met Joe through Jonny P, and they have a crazy story about how that happened.
How I met this guy?
Yeah.
Who wants to tell that?
No, you go for it, man. That's all you.
I was living next. I just moved to San Diego, so this is like my first interaction with somebody. Pretty much, like I'm like hot off the boat, right? So like I'm taking my garbage out. I drop my garbage off. I get back up. He's like 2 doors down. I walk into his house, and I'm like, okay, I just walked into somebody's home, and it's just John's head pops up. And he's just like, oh shit, or something was happening. No. And then it would like think like, what do you say now? You're me. What do you say? I just go, and I just like, sorry, man.
This whole, like affinity for art and cartoons, and even tune more towards like the more adult humor. How did that come about in your life, and how did that develop?
Since I was born, I was pretty much born into comedy and art, and I'll tell you why. For number one, I was nearly switched at birth, first of all.
No way.
I swear to God, I have a funny-ass story, man.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so, like, this is funny, man. Like, and apparently, it's my mom, my dad, and my grandfather in the hospital, and they bring in a kid with bright red hair, and my grandfather, old school Italian, goes, oh, no, he's got red hair. He goes, as if, like, now, if that was me, I would forever have been alienated by my grandfather's disdain for gingers. Like, I mean, so, right there, I was born in a comic.
No soul. Take it back.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Number two, and brace yourselves for this. My dad is an Elvis impersonator.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Right there, I have material for stand-up comedy. Right there. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a musician. He's got an oldies band and all that stuff. But he makes money doing the Elvis stuff.
He still gigs as Elvis.
He still does it, man. I'll send you some video clips. He's got his website. Yeah, Gig Master. He's on it, man. He plays all over the East Coast, man. He's been doing it since he was probably in his 20s. Probably. Yeah, he's been on the Today Show on NBC.
Really?
Yep, he was on the Today Show.
That's
he did a makeover. This guy wanted to be. He was a former football coach in the NFL, or I don't know who he was, but he did he wanted to be made up for Elvis for his birthday or something. So they hired my dad, and he's in a whole episode.
They hired your dad as an Elvis impersonator consultant.
Yeah, it was
exactly. And he preps him during the show, and at the end he performs. It's fantastic. But anyway, so yeah, that's where I get my sense of humor. But number two, where I get my art is my mom is an artist. She's not a professional artist, but she's fantastic at drawing and painting and all that stuff. So that's definitely where I got that ability. And man, they literally just handed me a notepad and just, here, go, let's see, you know what I mean? Awesome. And you know, they seen that, and they always supported me, which I'm so thankful, because you know, like I was a kid in like kindergarten. I can actually remember my first couple days in kindergarten where I was the kid standing in front of the chalkboard, and like they'd all want me to draw like Disney characters. I just remember that, like, so like it just stood out, and I remember the teachers were kind of aware of that. And I remember even going back to like my first, second, third grade classes when I was in like 5th grade. Like they'd bring me in to like do some drawings. They had it hung up in the.
Tell us a little bit about your first conceptualized cartoon piece, how that came about, the festival you submitted it to, and how that kind of all unfolded.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I ever animated was a short that I did for the Howard Stern Film Festival. There's that character Beetlejuice, who I'm sure you know. So there was a first annual Howard Stern Film Festival. I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm going to use my skills and really try to make like a little comedy thing. So what I did was I took Beetlejuice, and if you know Beetlejuice, he's like this little cocky little dude, right? So then I thought of Scarface the movie. And then I'm like, why don't I just make him as Scarface and name it Beetleface? And it's literally like a reenactment of him as Scarface. And then instead of like Cubans coming in trying to, it's Baba Booey's. Like it's all like little Baba Booey. Yeah. So
is that on YouTube right now?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Beetleface. Just type in Beetleface. It's probably the only thing that's going to come up.
Nice.
What made you cut over the line, fellas? What made you die? What made you die? They don't want a piece of me. I weigh 150, brother. 1 foot, 155. They got something to say to me, they ain't talked about the talk.
As I started to get into this animation stuff, I mean, that was the first thing that I thought. I'm like, I want to make something for the Spike and Mike Festival, right? And so I put together this thing called Artie's Day Off. It's pretty much, and it was the most experimental thing that I do. It's not the best thing that I've done, but it was definitely, it was pretty cool. It has its moments, but it's parodies of like all kinds of stuff, celebrity spoofs, and it's an unemployed guy just sitting at home flipping through the channels. It's almost like Robot Chicken, where it just kind of switches.
I've seen.
You know what I mean?
I think I've seen it at Spike and Mike's. Yeah. What year did you release it?
I think it was when I first moved out here, so maybe 08 maybe.
08?
08, 09 maybe.
I have seen it.
You have seen it?
I have seen it.
Well, here's the story. It's an interesting story. So I put the whole thing together. It runs about 6 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I send it in, and sure enough, within a day, they literally email me a contract saying, like, blah, 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 we love it, we want to buy it and stuff. And so they called me up, and they said that they're going to be showing it at the Comic-Con in San Diego. I had no idea what this was. They did this thing called the Gauntlet, which was, they threw this on me, and they said that what they're going to do is that they're going to play a film, and then the audience decides if the film keeps playing or if they cut it off. So it's cheers or boos. And right then I'm like, oh, fuck, man.
It's intimidating.
It is intimidating. You know what really, really sucked was because I did the original cut of Artie's Day Off, there's a long intro. And it's it's just the credits and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. So we get there, it's 10:30 at night, it's Friday night, everybody's drunk and high at the thing, so it's like real like rowdy in there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be bad. And I actually was able, when I first got there, I met Spike was there, and he's just like, if it makes it to the Samuel L. Jackson part, which you'll see, he goes, you'll be fine.
Goddamn right, Samuel Blackson here, star of the best movies you ever seen in your goddamn life. Classic like plump motherfucking friction.
But he was just like, yeah, it could go either way. And then I was like, man, I'm like you didn't tell me that. I would have tailored it more for the thing. So sure enough, man, the thing gets played. It doesn't even make it out of the credits, and they boo it. They boo the whole thing, and they cut it, and the whole thing, and I already knew it was gonna happen, and I'm like, oh, they didn't even give it a chance.
That's like going into an MC battle, and they tell you, they told you before it was a freestyle, then they go, oh, by the way, everybody here has been working on their writtens for like 5 months.
Right. Yeah.
Good luck.
Frustrated. yeah. They just throw it on you, and sure enough, there was a lot lot of really good films that got booed too. Like I mean, like really well animated, like foreign ones and stuff like that. And so after the whole thing, you know, I'm a little deflated, right?
Yeah,
I get a call. I fly back. I get a call from him personally. He calls me up and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I want to know if we could still use your film because I
Spike
love
or
it."
Mike?
Spike
Spike,
did.
yeah.
Well, Mike passed away actually.
Oh, okay.
A while ago, so it's just Spike now.
Rest in peace, Mike.
But dude, he calls me up personally. I'm like, whoa, and he's like, hey man, he's like, sorry about all that. He's like, he was so upset with the way the festival went. So he was like, dude, he's like, I love your film. I want to still use it. Would you know, can we still, you know, show it? So
That's great.
He shows it at Detroit at a I didn't get to go to this, but he showed it up in Detroit. Got a write up in the Detroit Press or whatever, and an awesome review. It actually mentions the cartoon in the thing.
Nice.
So like, you know, because at first I'm deflated. I'm like, oh, shit sucks, but blah blah blah. And then now my spirits are up high. You know, and I'm like,
Validation.
okay.
Tell them about your project.
Yeah, so like my newest thing that what I'm trying to do is, I mean, this is probably like the biggest project that, like personal project that I've worked on since like the Spike and Mike stuff, which obviously we can talk about.
Yeah, we
or
definitely go
whatever,
into
you know
that.
what I mean? But like the latest thing is, I'm really trying to put together a project to pitch to a network. And I mean, this is my first one, and I know that, you know, statistics show, you know, that you're probably not going to hit on the first one, but I just want to learn from it, you know what I mean? So that I can go back to the drawing board and blah, 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 you know, so pretty much what it's about, it's called The Pound, tentatively, and it's about an underground comedy club that takes place behind an animal shelter in an abandoned warehouse, and it's run by a stray dog, and an iguana. Okay, so that's the basis. It's pretty much a place for like disgruntled house pets to vent about their lives with human beings.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Louis C.K. meets the Pound Puppies,
Nice.
in a way. You know what I mean? So
I was actually there when you guys were doing the reading.
yeah.
Kind of practicing
Oh,
the
Yeah.
voice.
Oh, it got better.
That was
since then,
hilarious,
too,
man.
man.
Yeah, that was
hilarious.
just the first time. You know, we were kind of figuring it out, and yeah, no, I think we've got some good ideas, and it's just endless, and that's the greatest part.
Yeah.
About
Epic show. Been chilling with Joey B, longtime cartoonist. He's doing big stuff. He's already done a lot of big stuff. Jonny P, Antipatico, hanging out here in Mexico. Thanks for chilling with us, and thank you, man. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad that I've been able to pop your cherry traveling.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
so
no
happy
kidding.
to be here. I love doing this. I had a great time, man. And hopefully we can make some stuff in the future, man. Can I promote my
Absolutely.
website?
Where can we find you?
Tell us about yourself.
So if you want to check out some of my animation stuff, YouTube, obviously, look up Fun Time Films. The address on the bottom of the screen.
It's right here.
Sure.
It's right
And,
here. Boom.
I also have an animation/comic blog called Rotten Comics. It's on Tumblr. Check that out. I'm constantly updating that with all kinds of crazy drawings, animations.
So what is that?
updates.
Tumblr /
It's
Rotten
Rotten Comics with an X.
Uh-huh.
.tumblr.com.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where you can follow me. I'm on Facebook, all that stuff. So
Okay.
yeah,
Excellent.
if you guys dig what I'm
Your
talking
YouTube
about.
channel?
YouTube channel's Fun Time Films.
One time films.
Yeah, it's got all my animations.
He's got. We were looking at
stuff
some of
and
that
everything.
stuff last night. It's hilarious. Definitely check it out, man.
Yeah.
Joey B.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Joe, I'm to the boat.